Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am response-able for my response. Take that one to heart because Plutonic colonic. Today is ridiculous. We are building to this Sun-Pluto conjunction. As of today, they're about 4 degrees apart, but I know you are feeling it because I'm hearing people have breakdowns, meltdowns, and there's a big gold star for you where you need to pay attention, where you're having those breakdowns, where you're having the freakouts. Is it about layers of control? Because Pluto and Capricorn can definitely bring layers of control. Is it where you feel out of control? Is it where you feel powerless? What layer of frustrations, challenges, puniness are rising up? Because that's where the work is and will continue to rise. And it's up to you to respond in a way that feels responsible to you, right? But today, we're going to have the moon in Aries. And the moon in Aries is, moon in Aries is lighting a fire. Moon in Aries is lighting a fire on this power keg that's already growing. And let me be fair and say it will be early Thursday when the moon in Aries squares Pluto. It's like one of those cartoons, right, where they have like the dynamite and has a really long thing. So we're building till it's basically like right after midnight on Thursday. Like we're gonna feel this on Wednesday, but we get a piece of this today with the moon in Aries squaring Mars in Capricorn. So again, frustrations around control and powerlessness and all of these energies may be rising up today as we're trying to process our Plutonic colonic. We also have the moon in Aries squaring Mercury, which is newly in Capricorn as well, still in that retrograde energy. So with that moon, I'm hearing the universe be like, use your words. We may not feel like we have the words. What we may feel like we have is like punches and feelings and frustrations and bah. And here's the thing. I heard this before starting, and I don't like this saying, but like, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Now, again, all of this, it's not about good or bad astro, but it's about processing. These energies are in you. These energies are in me. These things that we're feeling, these are part of us. And Plutonic colonic, we want to get this stuff out. We want to move through these toxic layers into the empowerment. That is Pluto's work. These things that are rising up are not empowered versions of ourselves. They are not empowered pieces of ourselves. These are the frustrations rising to the surface to be released. And it is up to you to practice your responsibility to figure out how to release, how to feel through and move through these energies. Fortunately, it is like a lighter astro transit day, so there's not a lot of complications. It's dealing with the rage. It's dealing with the Aries war energy that wants to come out at this time. Moon in Aries is also reminding us, hey, you're here to be you. Chiron in Aries is reminding us, hey, you're here to be you. North Node in Aries is reminding us, hey, you're here to be you. So this may be also expunging. Love that word. Expunging various pieces of yourself that keep you trapped and from engaging, embracing, and being you. Now, there is one other transit worth mentioning, and that is that Venus and Ceres, little bright light, are conjunct in Sagittarius, reminding you as well to connect to your vision, to nurture your vision, to mother your vision, not to just get caught up in the Plutonic colonic toilet issues, not to just get caught up in the frustrations and the rage, but to remember that you also have the ability to create. So if you are feeling these frustrations and rages, what would you like to create that is beyond these energies? And how can you nurture this vision? How can you nurture a higher perspective? That's part of the Sagittarius energy, is like, okay, I see down here, it's a mess, but what is the bigger perspective that you can go to and nurture? And I'm not saying bypass this other stuff. Pluto wants you here, colonicking. And I recommend you do it, because one way or another, Pluto comes to call and wants you to deal with it. So deal with it, but then remember that vision and let that vision take you higher. I just heard that song. I love all the music. Now it's also the cards are interesting. We've got 2 kings, and king is really, authority layers. So just abundance is the authority over your spiritual and physical self, and finding how to stand in your authority. I think a lot of times those power control issues feel like you're not in authority, and in some places there needs to be the authority to surrender, and some places it needs to be the authority to step up. The control is mental, King of Swords. And look at that, like, light coming down, being bestowed there. That is an energy to recognize that you get to choose with which layer, which color, which frequency you want to experience these challenges and frustrations. We have the ability, with one little flick of a thought, to change the frequency of any issue. And that's part of that Venus Ceres combination today, reminding you, one little flick, you can change this. And we do have playfulness here. You can get playful with these energies. So how can you bring playfulness to all of these responsibilities, right? There's also the projections card. And it's funny because when I sat down to do this, that is all that was coming up, was projections. And so it may even be that these issues that you're dealing with are apparitions. They're not even real, but they're projections that you have taken on and are still letting control and frustrate, etc. you. So there's an opportunity to clear these. It's the 7 of Cups. And this card is like, it's a card of illusion. These things, it's like smoke. I'm burning incense right now. But it's like smoke in the air, right? Like, wave it away. So keep that in mind if what you're dealing with is some of the projections layer. The final card is like the piece de resistance. It is integration. And this is the Temperance card, which is definitely a card of patience, blending opposites. And blending opposites can also be the Abundance card. So keep in mind there might be some balancing within yourself, within your yin and yang, to do in this vision action process. But I think that there's some layers of integration in your personal authority that needs to happen as part of this Pluto in Capricorn energy. Now it's winding up on the 20th. On Saturday, it is shifting, and it will be back for about 2.5 months down the line. So this is a big piece of the wrap up, but there's a little bit more coming in. So just keep that in mind. Do what you can, but don't worry, don't force. Speaking of all of this, if you would like to dig into any and all of this, you can email me. Last opportunities to book your 2024 year ahead reading, so email me about that. There's a few different options. They're posted under the video on YouTube, so check that out. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. Remember that. And speaking of remembering, remember who you are. Namaste.